Hey everybody, this is Doomhammer with another weekly update. Here are some highlights of week 2. So we have Drew Brees with the Indianapolis Colts throwing for about 374 yards in the victory over the Jacksonville Jaguars. 23-20 is the score. Colts win and they go up 2-0 on the season. Jaguars fall to 1-1. Then we've got the Washington Commanders taking on the Dallas Cowboys in an NFC East division matchup. Both have a 1-0 record, and we see the Dallas Cowboys coming away with a big win against Garrett Gilbert and the Commanders. And they did actually have different jerseys there, but I don't know why the recap is showing that. But Cowboys 2-0 now on the year. There's Cooks giving the salute. And then we got the Chicago Bears taking on the Philadelphia Eagles. So the Eagles in the first season, without Donovan McNabb, they have Teddy Bridgewater, but we have Carson Wentz thrown to the invisible receiver who runs it in for a touchdown. And so there we go, a 20-17 victory for the rookie. The Bears, with rookie Carson Wentz, are 2-0 on the year. Eagles fall 0-2. Then we have the Minnesota Vikings taking on the New York Giants. And here we are. They're both 0-1. And there's that big run there by Doug Martin, just making people miss. 30-13, Mark Sanchez falls short against Robert Griffin III, who threw 3 touchdowns but only 143 yards. Definitely more of a running game, as you can see. Then we have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus the Panthers. Both teams are 1-0, but it is the Panthers with Joe Flacco who is able to get the victory as they pummel the Buccaneers. Cousins had some turnover issues while Flacco threw for 4 touchdowns through the air. So really good for them. And some other recaps here. We've got the Jets defeating the Packers 31-10. So a big game there for Alex Smith. Rivers was doing okay until he got injured for a little bit. And then Paxton Lynch had 2 passes there late in the game. Then we've got we mentioned about the Colts and Jaguars. So if you wanted to see some of the stats, Goodson had over 100 yards rushing for the Jaguars despite the loss. Tyreek Hill had 152 yards for the Colts and 2 touchdowns. Then we see the Commanders and Cowboys. Garrett Gilbert, who surprisingly has a starting job there, threw 3 interceptions. It was a rainy week, so there's a lot of rain weather. But Marquise Goodwin with 131 yards. Fitzgerald, 86. Good game for the Cowboys. Got the Panthers and the Bucks. We see Cousins with 145. We had Landry come in at the very, very end because they were getting blown out. Flacco, 4 touchdowns, 1 pick. 106 yards for Hill. McFadden, only 28. Then we got the Titans. This was Thursday Night Football. Aaron Rodgers throws for 205 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. He ran in the game-winning touchdown. Very exciting game there. It was a very close game, going back and forth. But it was the Tennessee Titans going 2-0 on the year. Then we got the Chiefs and the Steelers who were going back and forth until the Chiefs were able to break through in the fourth quarter. We see about 69 yards between Jordan Howard and Todd Gurley for Pittsburgh. 256 yards, 3 touchdowns for Big Ben. Gurley was much more effective receiving with 112 receiving yards, while Amari Cooper and Garcon had over 100 for the Chiefs, as Blake Bortles was 1 yard away from 300. Then we've got the Bears versus Eagles. Eagles fall 0-2, not the season they wanted with Bridgewater to start out. I mean, he can always turn things around, but a lot more has to be done. We see Wentz there, the rookie, with only 164 yards, and that's all it took in order to beat the Eagles. Then a firefight over here. We got Andrew Luck with 261 yards and 5 touchdowns. Even Ben Tate got a touchdown as well. You have Matthew Stafford with 238 yards, 1 touchdown. Now, the Seahawks had... What was it? Was it a defensive touchdown? Yes, they had Danielle Hunter sacked. No, he didn't sack him, but who forced the fumble? Yeah, Everson Griffin forced the fumble from Luck on like the first, the opening drive of the game. Danielle Hunter ended up running it in for a touchdown. So in his second year, Danielle Hunter already making big plays. Then we've got the Buffalo Bills beating the Broncos. So the Bills currently are in the lead in the AFC East. Mariota with only 136 yards. We see Bradford with 211. Nothing really standing out in these stats. Then we have Blaine Gabbert with the Saints going 2-0 in their division, defeating the Atlanta Falcons and Jimmy Garoppolo. We've got Aguilar with 108 yards. And Sammy Watkins with 100 yards exact. Neither team is that strong, but, I mean, Gabbert's able to get the 3-point victory over the Falcons. Then the Patriots find a way to defeat the Dolphins. It's been a while since they were able to best Miami. This was Monday Night Football. We see Brady with only 170 yards and 3 touchdowns, but Charles's 134 yards really carried them. We see Deshaun Jackson getting another 100-yard receiving game. I think in his first game he had 111 and then 116. Calvin Johnson's been only around 60. He got 2 touchdowns in this game, though. That was good for him. That's 112 yards for Jenkins. Nothing else for anyone else there. But yeah, so the Miami Dolphins get a loss early in the season. Patriots tie them 1-1. Arizona Cardinals 28-14 over the Chargers. So where Aaron Rodgers is 2-0 with the Titans, the Chargers are 0-2 without Aaron Rodgers and with Jared Goff. Goff did get injured, and so it was kind of like trying to force Jared Goff to continue playing. Whereas we had Tavares Jackson kept getting subbed in because of the severity of the injury, where I wanted Goff to play through it. But Jackson had 67 yards, 2 attempts there, 2 completions. Foster only 32 yards, but they were behind for most of the game. But it was Dalton's 287 that gets them the victory. And I think Dalton, is he the league leader right now? And let's see, what was his yards? Yeah, 324, 287. So Andy Dalton really bouncing back this season, at least in these opening 2 games. Then we got the Baltimore Ravens versus the Las Vegas Raiders. So we got Geno Smith, 173, 2 touchdowns. The Ravens just pummeled them. They kept putting Donald Brown as a starter. Elliott did get injured during the game when I was trying to force him to play a little bit more. So he's 36 and 79, where Donald Brown is 40 and 106 this season. Elliott got the scoring touchdown. Geno Smith also ran a touchdown in. Then pretty decent spreading the ball around. As you can see, a lot of receivers with like 17, 20, 28, 50, 64 yards. Then we got the Cleveland Browns versus the Texans. Cleveland with 21-7. We have Michael Vick with only 92 yards. Cleveland's defense really came through. Vick did rush for 91 yards. So, I mean, he was 1 yard away from how much he threw for. But literally no other running back help. Cleveland's defense was fantastic. Pryor is also not league leader, but the team leader there in rush yards for this game. And Cleveland moves on to 1-1. Then we have the Vikings and Giants. So already 2 games in, and Sanchez is 0-2 in New York. You got the RG3 with 3 touchdowns, 143 yards. Doug Martin, 146 yards. Ryan Matthews not anywhere near that. Giants were behind, and they just stayed behind. So they weren't able to really catch up on them. And then we have the Lions defeating the 49ers. 49ers were off to like a 6-0, 7-0 start last year. Unfortunately, they are 0-2 to start this season off. Winston with 2 interceptions. Again, it was a lot of rainy weather and bad weather, so that was part of the interceptions being jacked up in this week. Tannehill with 210 yards and 3 touchdowns. Any news that's relevant? Let's see. Injury report. There's one I want to point out. There's somebody that got nailed. It was Dolphins. Where's the Dolphins guy? Oh, David Johnson. Achilles tear. So he is out for the rest of the season for the Miami Dolphins. I expect to make a trade because I think there are some good running backs. There's a few teams that have like, I think the Commanders have like, not the Commanders. Some team has like 3, maybe the 49ers have 3 running backs over 80 overall. And so there might be a trade this week because Dolphins definitely need to have a better running back than their backup currently, because I think it's a rookie. But top performers, Andrew Luck definitely up there. Russell Wilson up there. Charles, Martin, Cooper, Tyreek Hill. Gerard Mayo getting 3 interceptions in the game against Vegas. So that was good for the Ravens. So the Ravens defense starting to look a little bit more ferocious, as they should. Rookie performances, we got Derrick Henry, got 103 yards this game. What was his first week? He only had 32 yards, so he had a pretty shy game the first time, but he broke out for 100 yards rushing this game. Wentz did pretty solid for his win against the Eagles. Jared Goff did his best against the Chargers, as with the Chargers. Surprises, Perriman, 6 receptions, 69 yards. And so these were some of the signings. So I think there was an injury there. So we got Dwayne Brown to the Eagles. So when we look at the standings, right now it is the Bills and the Jets. The AFC South is very competitive. All 4 of those teams are great. It's ironic that the 2 teams I think are the best, I mean the Patriots and the Dolphins, are at the bottom right now, but I'm sure those 2 teams will bounce back. Everyone's tied in the AFC North. We have the Tennessee Titans and the Indianapolis Colts. We got Rodgers versus Breeze. Right now 2-0 in the AFC South. Jaguars at 1-1, and then Houston right now is 0-2. We will see if Jacoby Brissett gets any chances to start. And then we have the Kansas, because right now it's Michael Vick, a quarterback. AFC West, we got the Chiefs with a 1-1 record, while all the other teams are 0-2. So AFC West looks like they're taking a dive for the worse, at least for this start of the season. Cowboys ahead in the East. We got Commanders right behind them with 1 game, and then we got the Giants and the Eagles 0-2. Again, a lot can still happen. Bears 2-0, and then all the other teams are 1-1 in the North. NFC South, we got the Saints and the Panthers 2-0, Buccaneers 1-1, Falcons falling to 0-2. And then we got the NFC West, we got Los Angeles Rams leading the way. They were the Super Bowl winning champions, defending champs. We got the Cardinals 1-1, the Seahawks and 49ers surprisingly 0-2. If we're looking at player stats right now, we got league leaders like Andy Dalton, Drew Brees, Russell Wilson, Blake Bortles, and Aaron Rodgers, all in the top 5. Top 8 includes Newton, Flacco, Luck, all with 500 or above. When we see touchdowns, it's Wilson, Flacco, and Luck, all with 7. Andy Dalton with 6. Then we got several with 5. Garrett Gilbert is one of them, but Garrett Gilbert is passing to Julio Jones, so he's got a kind of a cheat code helping him out. Then we look at rushing. We got Kevin Smith, Jamal Charles, and Doug Martin, all of whom are over 200 yards. Ingram just 5 yards away. Then Trent Richardson rounds up the top 5. Touchdowns, we got 3 from Martin and Lynch. Receiving leaders, we've got Deshaun Jackson leading the way, 227, with Wallace, Delaney Walker, Marquise Goodwin, Cooper, and then Nix. Those 6 are over 200 yards receiving. Then we got another tight end there, Jordan Reed, and then mostly receivers. And then touchdown leaders are Josh Gordon, Tyreek Hill, Julio Jones, and Niles Paul, all there with 3 touchdown receptions. And Mr. Drops a Lot is Kenny Stills and Brandon Tate. We got Malcolm Kelly, Calvin Johnson Jr., and Odell Beckham Jr., all the way down to Devontae Parker. All of these have 3 drops there. Then we get look at tackles real quick. We got Delmas, Hightower, Williams, top 20, with total of 20 tackles. Hayden and Levante David and Matt Elam with 17. We go to sack leaders. It's Sidbury, Derek Wolfe, Ziggy Ansah, and then a bunch from Calais Campbell to Sinderic Marks with 2. Tackles for losses, we got Sue, Wolfe, Sidbury, Ray, and Elam. Any safeties? I don't think I've had any of those. Forced fumbles, we've got several of them if you want to check those out. Fumble recoveries. Touchdowns, we got 1, Daniel Hunter. Then we got interceptions. So we got 3 from Gerard Mayo in 1 game, so that's really big. We got Tyrann Mathieu, Jarrett, and Hyde, all with 2. Then there's a bunch of people with just 1 interception. Any touchdowns? Yeah. So Orlando Scandrick, Shaquille Reddick, Alden Smith, and Dante Whitner. So again, Baltimore had a really great game. Dante Whitner had a good pick 6 as well. Pass deflections, Willis with 3. Then returns, really only going to highlight, we got Matt Forte with 3 kick return touchdowns this season, 2 for Dante Moncrief. I think that's it. So we've had 5 total kick return touchdowns. No punt return touchdowns yet. So yeah, when we look at, let's see, do we want to look at team stats here? So real quick, we got the points per game is the Jets, Pittsburgh, Cowboys, Rams, and Panthers. Worst are the Falcons with 10 points per game. Chargers, Eagles, Packers, Texans. When we look at passing, the ones with, I guess that's just going to be the same as quarterback, so we're not going to go over that. But anyway, we've got the wrap-up here of Week 2 and heading on to Week 3. Thanks for watching and hope to see you in the next video as we continue this 32-team franchise. Yes, I play every single game, and so every single snap, and we will see how the season evolves.